This is how my big trip around the Baltic countries began. We caught the first car to the Estonian city of Pärnu, and after heading out in it we went a little bit toward Latvia, and then we walked for a very long time until 12:30. We were caught by a girl from Poland and drove almost in Riga. I met my first morning in Latvia here. Hello everyone, you are on the Voicers channel and I'm Voice. And today I will show you the capital of Latvia, Riga, and draw graffiti here. Put likes if you are subscribed to the channel or not, and if not, then subscribe. And we start! I want to start from the old city of Riga. I will start from here for two reasons. The first is that this is the first place where I ended up in Riga, and I also lived here all 3 days that I was in Latvia. And secondly, the main city attractions here. I will start with the Statue of Liberty of Latvia, installed in memory of the fighters for the Latvia freedom. From here we will briefly go over the main places, and these are the houses named Three Brothers, the Dome Cathedral, the House of the Black Hats. Right next to the House of Black Hats is the St. Peter Cathedral. The city itself is one of the world's largest number of buildings of German modernism or Jugendstil architecture. From the old city I went to the embankment of the Daugava river, walked there a little and went to the next place. And now I want to show you the Soviet legacy in Riga. Unfortunately, I didn't drive all I wanted. I practically didn't go to the Moscow suburb, a very atmospheric post-Soviet ghetto in Riga, but I partially walked around this area. In the old town I go through the Pavilion Market, by the way also a very recognized place in the city, to the building of the Latvian Academy of Sciences. At the time of preparing the video I learned that Stalinist architecture is a separate, independent style in architecture. There are many buildings in this style in Moscow, and there are also in Warsaw. For €6, which is very expensive for me, and similar entertainment, I climbed to the roof of this building. On the roof there is a viewing platform from which you can see Old Town, the railway bridge, only one railway bridge in the city, the river itself, and views of it from different sides. Riga TV Tower, the tallest building in the Baltic countries, also a view of the Moscow suburb and residential areas in Riga. Going down, I went to the main railway station in Riga. I left here twice, the first time to Jurmala, a resort near Riga, and the second time to Liepaja, the third city of the country. In Jurmala, everything went wrong for me as I planned. Only after the trip did I found out what this city is like. Several railway stations around which there are settlements that are united under the same name Jurmala. I arrived at one of these stations, went to the beach, and from there I went to the Sloka area, which looks like post-Soviet ruins. From Sloki I went back to Riga. Everything was better in Liepaja. I arrived there in the evening, took a little walk, and what can I say, a pleasant resort town. At the end of the trip I drew this piece there and drove on. Since I told you that I was living in Riga, I will tell you about what exactly they drive in here, namely public transport in Riga and railway in Latvia. Let's start with railway. In Riga there is a legendary Riga carriage plant. Trains were built on all of the Eastern Bloc. Until now the trains of this plant can be seen in all post-Soviet, post-Yugoslav countries as well as in Bulgaria. Latvia has a very large collection of trains from this plant, all in order. Part of the trucks are not electrified. They use old diesel trains DR1 as well as newer DR1 AM and DR1 AC built in 2015. There are also super new diesel trains from the same plant, but I didn't see them with my own eyes. The electrified composition is represented by classic R1. I also saw the round face of R1, but I didn't not have time to remove and photograph it. Also, new Skoda trains are now being launched to Riga, which are slowly entering into operation. And now I will tell you about public transport in Riga. From the interesting, there is trams and trolleybus. Trams are represented by Tatra T3 and T4, which urbanists always whine about, saying that they are outdated, but as for me it is the old trams that really set the atmosphere and style of the city. There is also a new Skoda K6. Trolleybus is Riga as mostly new Solaris, but I also saw a new Skoda. After the part about transport, we can move to the graffiti part. I wanted to separately shoot graffiti spots in Riga, but the spot that my Riga friend showed me is very small, so there will be not separate video. And now let's move on the part of painting. Result. In terms of price, I spent about 150 euros in Riga, of which 45 euros is a hostel, for 30 euros paint, 60 euros food and drinks, and the rest of the amount went to the transport. No offense to the Latvians, the capital of Latvia seemed to me very post-Soviet and not neat, unlike another Baltic cities. But still the city is as cool as possible and I strongly recommend it visit it both for tourists because there is something to see here and for writers because that there are a lot of interesting places for both writing and bombing. I will also say that there are very cool writers in Riga. I drew a lot more here, but not everything can be showed on YouTube. But I also made this wall. What's all for me? Put like, subscribe to the channel and write comments about how you like it video, and there will be more.